It Gets Real with Karina. Each week, Karina will discuss serious topics and is not shy to tell you how it is. On her show, she covers day-to-day situations and provides her opinion along with feedback from her listeners.
Hey y'all, welcome back to It Gets Real with Karina. This is part 2 of our series From Drained to Delivered, and today we're going to get real deep. If you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep attracting people who drain me? This episode is going to help you trace that pattern back to where it really started, your childhood. Now listen, this ain't about blaming nobody. It's not about pointing fingers at your parents, your family, or your past. This is about awareness. Because when you understand the roots, you can stop growing the same rotten fruit. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden ways childhood roles shape the relationships we choose today and how we break free. Let me ask you something real. Who were you growing up? Were you the one holding everything together when things got messy? Were you the one trying to earn love by being quiet, being good, strong, or perfect? You see, in a lot of our homes, especially Black and brown families, we were handed these invisible jobs. The peacemaker. Don't rock the boat. The caregiver. Take care of your siblings. The strong one. Don't cry. Be tough. The achiever. Make us proud. Be the example. These roles weren't always spoken out loud, but we felt the weight of them. And here's the truth. When you grow up being needed more than being nurtured, love and labor start to feel like the same thing. We start to think that in order to be loved, we have to perform, prove, fix, or serve. And when you move through life carrying that belief, what happens? You keep picking people who need saving, people who need fixing, people who mirror the dysfunction you had to survive as a child. Because your nervous system doesn't recognize peace as love. It recognizes chaos as love. I know that's real deep. Listen, survival is not love. Just because you know how to survive in dysfunction doesn't mean you're called to live there. I want you to think about this. If you grew up in a home where you had to earn attention, earn affection, earn your place, you might now be addicted to relationships where you feel like you have to prove yourself. You mistake the work for the worth. That's why sometimes when a healthy person shows up, somebody consistent, calm, respectful, you get bored. It doesn't spark the same adrenaline you're used to. You think something is wrong. You say, "Ooh, this feels too easy." You go to your homegirl, you go to your homeboys and just be like, "This just is a little bit off." No, baby. That's called safety. That's called security. You're just not used to it yet. Let me get a little personal. I remember being the responsible one early. Always trying to have it together, always trying to be the emotional support system for grown people. I got so good at carrying other people's weight that I didn't even notice when it was crushing me. Fast forward to adulthood, I started attracting friends and partners who loved that about me. They loved that I listened, that I understood, that I gave grace. But when I needed support, silence, excuses, dismissal. And because I was so used to being the strong one, I didn't even ask for more. I just adjusted, shrunk, silenced my own needs to keep the peace. Just like plenty of you, I'm sure you have done the same exact thing. Until one day, I realized If the only time people clap for you is when you're carrying the world, you need a new audience. Here's some real talk. If you're wondering whether you're stuck in the childhood pattern, ask yourself, do you feel guilty setting boundaries? Do you stay in one-sided friendships way too long? Do you pride yourself on being low maintenance because you don't want to be a burden? Whew, child, that used to be me. Do you believe love has to be hard or painful in order for it to be real? Are you constantly drawn to people you can fix? If you said yes to any of those, you're not broken. You're just operating out of old survival strategies. But survival mode is not your destiny. Thriving is. So how do we change it, you guys? First, awareness. Name the role you were assigned as a child. Was it the caretaker, the fixer, or the quiet one? Second, compassion. Understand that the little you did, the best they could survive. You're not stupid. You're not naive or weak. You were smart enough to adapt. And that was really strength. Third, reparenting. Now you get to step in and give yourself what you didn't get. Speak up when something feels off. Say no without explaining yourself. Let people take care of you, too. Accept that being loved shouldn't feel like labor. You get to teach your nervous system that peace is safe. You get to tell yourself, I am not responsible for managing anyone else's emotions but my own. And here's the beautiful part. The healthier you get, the healthier the people you attract. Because healed hearts recognize each other. I noticed in my healing journey, when I began working on me, learning who I truly am and who I truly want to be, everything else around me begins to work in my favor. I begin to attract the things that I truly desire. It is amazing how life works. As soon as you start putting you first, everything else follows. Let me leave you with this. You don't owe anybody the broken version of yourself that tolerated things you've outgrown. You can love your family and still break the cycles they passed down. You can honor your story and still write a new one. All right, guys, your journal prop for this week will be, what role did I play in my family growing up? And how is that role shaping my relationships today? And your affirmation, I am allowed to receive love without performing. I am worthy of relationships rooted in peace, not pain. Y'all, I'm proud of you. Even listening to this show shows that you're ready for better. You're ready for freedom. You're ready for delivered love, not draining love. You're ready for all of the great things that God has to offer you. And although some things that have occurred in our childhood, it does stick with us. But just know, you can grow out of that. You can heal. And you can stop using those same traits that you learned growing up in your adult relationships. It won't be easy. But what I do know is that it will be worth it. And you know, guys, this is a 5-part series, and our next episode will be called Friend or Foe. When platonic relationships become emotionally draining. We talk a lot about toxic exes. I had a few of those. But what about the friendships that wear us out? I've had a few of those as well. In that episode, I'm going to be sharing how I learned to spot the difference between loyalty and self-betrayal. Not every friend is for you or your future. Let's talk about when to let go and how to heal from friendship breakups. That is going to be next week, and I hope you guys tune in. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for walking this journey with me. And remember, it gets real, but it gets better.